We are going to add some dotted lines to our cactus. I'm using the end of a broken paintbrush and I am tapping a line of curved dots. You can see that I am following the curve of my cactus oval. And every few dots, 3 or 4 dots, I dip my stick back in. I'm actually retouching some that got small. I'm going to start the second row of dots. When I draw this line of dots, I still want it to be curved, but just a little bit. I left a really big space between the first line and the second line so I can see the difference. It doesn't look like a polka dot cactus. It looks like a cactus with some rows of dots. So they're very close together in the row, and then each line is spaced out. Now I have to curve my line the other way because the other side of my oval is curved the opposite direction. So as I draw my next line of dots, I need to follow the opposite curve. Keep tapping your stick back in for more paint when you run out. I'm being very careful on my last row, the 4th row, that it's not too close to the other rows on either side. I want a space with just green paper so I can see the rows on my cactus. 4 rows is plenty. If your cactus is a little smaller than mine, you might even want to do just 3 rows. When it's finished and you want to switch to the smaller end of the stick, wipe off the larger area because I used the wider end of the stick. I'm flipping it to the other side, which is a little smaller, and I'm tapping my stick back in the paint. I'm going to do the smaller circles, but I'm going to do the same thing where I follow the curve of my circle. Doing both sides so I know the directions that my lines need to go in. When I do the 2 center lines, I'm still leaving some space when I move up in between my rows so I can see the lines clearly. As it gets smaller, really only need to add 1 or 2 rows. I make a mistake here and I do a few too many on the circles at the top. It starts to look like it's just polka dotted. Don't go dot crazy like I did up there. Too many dots. Since the smaller side's already wet with paint, I'm going to add 2 little rows to the small circle because I learned my lesson. And I'll work my way down this cactus. I'm not rushing. Every few dots I go and dip back in the white paint. I do the 2 edges, and on this medium-sized one, I'm going to do just 1 in the middle to try and keep my stripes separate. As I fast forward, you will see me wipe off the end of this stick and switch back to the larger size for the bottom part of my cactus. When you're finished, wipe your stick off and put your painting on the drying rack.